Oh, hello, everybody. This is a special thing that I'm doing. Uh, I'm just doing a special Oktoberfest thing because people are going to be doing it later on. And I just wanted to get it done early for all of you. This is uh just doing one early. So the thing is that just everybody is gonna be. Sorry. Get myself back on track. Yeah, it's been a little while since I did one of these, but the important thing is that the Halloween season is already upon us. It's caused me to think about certain ones that. I mean, we grew up with our favorites. We grew up watching different films. We have favorites now, or some of us, our favorites have changed over time, but I don't know. I mean, I mean, look at me. I started out being extremely afraid of the movie Hocus Pocus, and in later years, it ended up being like a favorite of mine. And then the second one came out, that got to be an even bigger favorite of mine. I mean, yeah, the Hocus Pocus series really has been a surprising one. I mean, for many years, people did not think they would make a sequel. A lot of the actresses did not even want to do a sequel. Even the actress that starred as Sarah, which we all know from Sex and the City, even she had not seen the whole film of Hocus Pocus because it wasn't something that interested her. She only saw like the parts that she filmed when the director showed them to her. She never was interested. Sarah Michelle Joe Parker was never interested in seeing the full final product. They only went back to the film because they had originally said they wanted to focus on having families and all that. And so they finally decided to go back into acting. And that's when we got it. That's when we got the sequel. And but and we got a third one coming out. That's gonna be good. Let's see. I also love the let's see. I recently watched the I think it's the Pumpkinhead one, the original. That was pretty good. Can't wait till that gets a 4K release. But I still want Casper on 4K. Is that too much to ask for? I mean, come on. It's a wonderful film. I love it so much. Uh, okay, yeah. And let's see what else. Uh, let's see. Getting ready to watch this first and second Harry Potter films again. That should be good. Um, Second one's my favorite, as some of you know. Um, uh, probably, mm, probably will go from the second Harry Potter film to watching Doctor Who, the 13th Doctor. Yes, and because I already watched some other horror. Oh, I already watched some other horror related films, but um, I will say watching Independence Day, that was pretty good. Yes, it was a July film, but still kind of has a October. ish feel to it, you know? I mean, it gets us ready, you know? I mean, watching a possible alien invasion just gets you in the mood for October. And that's what I feel really did it for everybody. After they watched the invasion film, which is 10 times better than the invasion TV series, ugh, I feel that it just got people in the mood for, Halloween related films. And that's what kicked it off for everybody, most likely. But besides that, so yeah, but October film, the October month is just going to be so filled of YouTubers doing streams and this and that, October related. I'm just getting mine out of the way, you know. Um, but yeah, it's the future is going to be really interesting. I'm so excited for the Five Nights at Freddy one. Yep, it's going to be really good. Really good. Like I said in Michael's stream, I've been a fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's since the very beginning. The books, the soundtracks, the songs. I mean, yes, even though Michael said he has some albums, remember Spotify and other series, you can listen to them every single night till your ears bleed. I listen to them before I go to bed, you know? I mean, yes, I watched a lot. Yes, I listened to the Hellraiser soundtrack for like a week, but I had horrible, horrible nights that I just, ugh. I tried not having dreams, but they were some pretty freaky dreams, I'll tell you that. The most freaky dream I had during that week was playing Scrabble with Doggone Pinhead. Yes, I had a dream of playing Scrabble with Pinhead. So yeah, that happens when you listen to the score of the original Hellraiser for 7 nights in a row. Yes, but but yeah, I've so besides the Five Nights at Freddy's games and the books and the soundtracks. Heck, I even bought the Nicolas Cage film, Willy's Wonderland, just to wet my whistle and get myself ready for the film. Because as we all know, and as Michael stated, it's been rumored for years. I even when it was originally rumored, I actually thought the Five Nights at Freddy's film was actually going to be I thought that was the film that was coming out that ended up being the Nicolas Cage film. But so I've been a fan of it so much that I got those two confused until I finally watched it. And because it sounded so similar, you know? And so I can't wait to watch it. The Five Nights at Freddy's film when it comes out. I'm so excited. I've been excited. I find it interesting that they cast PETA from the Hunger Games series. Yes, there's a reason why I mentioned that. Uh, there's a reason why I mentioned him in the series. The that I mentioned the Hunger Games series. Yeah, I in a previous stream. Yes, I've watched him in everything he's been in. I watched the guy that's going to be the security guard in Five Nights at Freddy into everything. I saw him in RV, starring Robin Williams. I seen him in Zathura, starring the guy from The Shawshank Redemption. I've saw him in Firehouse Dog. Yes, I've seen him in tons of things. Um, uh, I even saw him in Little Manhattan. Yep, really good film. Really good film for its time. I mean, yeah, but so I've seen him in everything he's been in. Uh, his co-star was not very good in Winter's Bone. I feel it was the atmosphere, the tension, along with her performance that drove the film to getting the award that it did. But I don't feel it was just her acting ability on its own. Um, I'd say out of Jennifer Lawrence's acting performances, I'd say I prefer her in that one. I think it was called Mother. I think so. But yeah, at least she portrayed the most. She really acted her butt off in that one. But uh, besides Halloween films, yeah, I love the monster films, but I will say the one with them in the waxworks, that was my favorite. I think it's called the something revenge, like the monster's revenge or something. And let's see. Hmm, let's say there's just so many that I own. I also own the Littlest Vampire, really good film, starring the kid from Jerry Maguire. I'd say, hmm, as far as kids films, I would say that's my favorite. As far as vampire films, is the Littlest Vampire, not the animated one, but the live action one. That was my favorite vampire film that has to do with kids. The family friendly. Lost Boys is definitely not family friendly. Definitely not. But yeah, I've even seen the one about the scarecrow. The I forget what it is. The I forget what it is. But I will say I did not like that they chose the villain to kill a mentally challenged person. That was wrong. If that if that film was made today, they would not have chosen a mentally challenged person to kill. That is not a good one. I mean, that's not a good thing to do. So they should not have done that. But I will say that the sequel was worse. Even though some parts were good, mostly it was not good at all. So it was mostly bad, in my opinion. The first one I like mostly. Yeah, some parts very creepy. The old guy, very, very, very creepy. But I will say there has to be a creepy guy in it for it to be a good villain, you know? They just chose to make him creepy in a different way. But at least they didn't show nothing, you know? They kept it to where everybody knew, but nothing was seen. They should keep it all like that, not show anything bad, except in Irreversible. I bought that movie. Yes, I bought that movie. Mm-hmm. The newest version. Yep. Looking forward to seeing that. What can I say? I've been too into watching the October related films early. I've watched them all. I own the fire. I own the Firestarter film that stars the lady um from a episode of Lost. She was also in she was also in Queen of the Damned, but in Lost, she was the girl in the record store that Hurley had a crush on, that later ran off with his best friend. But I own that movie, watched it already. Watched the Scarecrow one. I've watched the Medusa one, the one that takes place in in a trailer park. Not the best. Um, I watched tons. Still enjoy the Charlie Brown one. That was good. Um, Peanuts movie was not as good, but um, just still a big fan. Still a big fan of the Halloween Town films. But I will say the first and second are my favorite. I'm not a big fan of films after that in the Halloween Town series. Not a big fan of the sequels. Just a fan of number one and number two. Calabar's Revenge. Really good, underrated Halloween film. In my opinion, it was the spookiest out of the whole series. Um, and yeah. Um, by the way, to all of you watching, I hope that it didn't make you all sad that I wasn't in the most recent KB's live stream. I honestly was not notified about it. I had a lot going on. It was a busy day, and I just was not notified. And heck, even when the previous one came out, I only found out about it a little bit before it came out. That's why my intro was so small. So don't worry, it's nobody's fault really. I've been usually I check and I make sure I have enough warning. Just it's been such a really busy time catching up on all these wonderful Halloween related films before Halloween or before October even started. So to catch up on everything in my list to watch, it's just been hard. Aside from some other drama that I will not get into on screen, but I will say it's not just the movies that can be scary too. It's people. People can surprise you. They can surprise you very much. You can think they're one way for most of the time, and then they're completely different the other. Very, very different. But don't worry, not talking about any of you on here. There's many different levels of the world and different layers and everything else, but people can be surprising, downright spooky sometimes. But besides that, yeah, such a wonderful season of Halloween. Yep. Heck, I even had all the Halloween goodies before. All the sweets, all the other stuff. They even released them like within like last week, so I had to track those down. Actually was able to find some caramel apples. Love it, love it, love it. After watching Hocus Pocus 2, I I darn have a craving for caramel apples. I love it so much. Caramel apples. What can I say? I love Hocus Pocus 2 very much. Very much. Great film. You got the mayor. He's an interesting character in himself. You got the Sanderson sisters. Different portrayal of the Sanderson sisters. I'd say their acting and portrayal of their characters is really different compared to in the past. But yeah, and just really good to see a lot really good films, the Hocus Pocus films. Each has a different feeling to it. Each has a different atmosphere, set of characters, everything. So I'd say definitely watch the second one. Really good. Really good. Each has a good soundtrack. The second soundtrack really, really amazing. And let's see. Besides that, I'd say if you want something that's different kind of spooky, I'd say the sequel, Secret of the Ooze, definitely has a spooky feel to it in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. It's worth it. Has a spooky feel to it. Has a terrifying super shredder. Definitely, that's for sure. And heck, he even sounds like Freddy Krueger. Cha. So yeah, give that one a watch. But yeah, so let's see. I also like the one about, I think it's called like the Halloween tree or something like that. That's a good one. Yes, it's been mentioned before in live streams, but I watched it originally when it was introduced on TV. I mean, back when they said next on TV is the Halloween tree, I watched that I watched it the very first night it was shown on television. Its very first uh, televised release after it was on VHS form and then DVD. I actually watched it, the very first TV viewing of it. I actually was watching it. So yeah. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think of some really good ones besides that. But yeah, I made sure to track down every single Halloween candy. Had it already. I had the caramel apple. I had the I've I'm very happy that in the last week they finally released all of the Halloween candies, including the caramel apple. And I'm just yes, I tracked them down. I I watched all the Halloween films early. I watched but yeah, as of this afternoon, I will have watched uh Harry Potter 1 and 2 again. So, and just all in all, really, really, uh, really good first and second film. And also, the second film of Harry Potter has, or maybe it's the first, but I think it's the second. The it actually has Christopher Columbus's daughter in it, and she's listed as something Bones. So that's Halloween related. But yeah, to think about it as the Christopher Nolan Hogwarts member and alumni, that's amazing. Yeah, I think it was Christopher Columbus. I think so. Yeah. And to think after those films, he did the Rent movie. Hmm, interesting. And technically, Maureen did come back to life. So, in a way, he did get to bring back a monster. It's no, 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 no. It wasn't Maureen that brought back. It was the one that was on something that made her bad. And I won't get into it because it's not suitable for the stream. But she was on something that made her bad that she ended up dying from. Because technically, when you are brought back, you only are alive again for like a few hours. They don't tell you that. But when you come back from what she had, you're only alive for a few more hours. It's not something that when you die from it the first time and then you come back, it's only a chemically induced thing. It's a thing where you are not alive for that much longer. your system just shuts down for a little bit and then it comes back. Doesn't happen all the time, but it does occasionally. So you could even look it up. But yeah, so I guess in a way, the ending that you do not see of Rent would be the spookiest because that character, Rosario Dawson's character, would have died if they were to show us a few hours later, but they don't. But but yeah, as far as Halloween films, yeah, just so many good ones, so many good ones. I'd say it's gonna be very good when the Five Nights at Freddy's film comes out. I'm really excited for that one. I'm really excited for the Hocus Pocus 3 when it comes out. Um, I'm just really, I don't know. It's really going to be a really good October. Really, really good. I will say, as far as Halloween films, Lost Boys, definitely a top favorite of mine. Um, Fright Night is okay, but not my favorite. I'm not a fan of the Lost Boys trilogies or the sequels. I'm not. I'm. mm, There's another film I'm a fan of that has that guy in it, the Corey. I can't remember. He's been in quite a few good films. Oh, Bordello of Blood. That's a good one. I have like 4 copies of it, if not more. I'll have to check, but I love that film. Bordello of Blood. It has a really good cast, really good. And that guy died in real life. The one who played the detective. I was really sad. I always wonder if certain actors are destined for a loop of their worst film, you know, that they have to constantly go through the loop of working on their worst film as if they don't make it into heaven. I don't know, just a thought of mine. But if you want to talk about a horrifying series, I'd say Secret Invasion. It's been so predictable to me. So predictable. I knew that Nick Fury was a Skrull from the beginning after the snap. I mean, what I mean is, it's been so predictable. I mean, yes, there's more to it, but there's more to the specifics. But I can already tell that, yes, he's going to give the serum to Gravik. He's going to take it, but it will have a tracker in it that the real Nick Fury up in the space station is going to use to track Gravik and kill him. Because the Nick Fury, um, even when he's out, he's still in. So I already knew that he was going to pull something like that. So, like I said, it's the most horrifying series that Marvel has done of TV series. Yes, I've even seen She-Hulk. I love it. I own She-Hulk everything. Some a little bit more pricier than others, but definitely worth it. But yeah, um, so yeah, um, I'd say as far as spooky shows that I'm a fan of, let's see, I'd have to say She-Hulk, definitely a fan of that. That's been a spooky elements. Definitely an episode has elements from Supernatural. The one where she's killing all those bats or creatures from a different dimension. Love that episode best. Yep. She even has some really good fun. hmm Favorite episode of the series. Not too not too keen on the body. Sorry, what I meant was not too keen on the bodybuilder's attitude the morning after. He was a jerk, but but if you cut out the morning after, great episode. Because let's face it, she gets served at the end of that episode. Not a good ending. Definitely not. But a much better ending than the episode that's at the end. I mean, why introduce the mini Hulk at a family barbecue? You know he's going to eat everything in sight. No one's going to get any leftovers. And everybody was more into the situation of showing She-Hulk with Daredevil. Uh, yeah, those were what the doggone barbecue was about. Nobody wanted to be introduced to the uh, to the mini Hulk at a family barbecue. I mean, he had no lines, and it's guaranteed nobody got any leftovers. So, not a good thing. I mean, if anybody wants to snag a good interview, try to track down a interview with the person they got to play uh the young Hulk. That would be a good one. I mean, heck, people have done interviews with the one that played Wendy and Peter Pan. So just saying. But um, as far as Halloween related movies and shows, I'd say the Friday the 13th series. That's pretty good. You could actually buy that now. Sliders has some Halloween related episodes. Kind of spooky, but more of a in a Halloween related sense. Let's see. But I will say, but I want to give a shout out to somebody. It's actually a good person on YouTube that I really feel deserves that deserves to have a five. He deserves to have a five takes or a conversation with KB. So I want to give a shout out to Michael's Movie Corner. Really good guy. He, yeah, I'd say, yeah, he deserves to be a guest on KB's stream. If I had to pick anybody that I would want to uh, to be on that conversation, I would definitely pick him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's the one I would pick to be on this interview. So, KB, if you're watching, uh, watch his content. He's really good. Um, I was actually on a stream of his 4 months ago, so I recommend you watch his content and I ask as a personal favor to me, please have him on the conversation because I really feel he will be a asset to the community. He's really knowledgeable. He's from the UK. Uh, no, uh, from Ireland. He's from Ireland. I think, pretty sure, either the UK or Ireland, one or the other. I get confused. Geography was not a good subject of mine, um, especially nowadays. Um, for reasons that certain people know. But yeah, shout out to Michael's Movie Corner. Uh, uh, Michael's Movie Corner. Really good channel, really good content. I highly suggest that you all have him on for the conversation. Uh, yeah, really good guy, really good guy. Um, and yeah, and as far as the rest of the Halloween related stuff, I would say the world's pretty spooky right now. People not as nice as they once were, but yeah, and also anyone that's into Star Trek, definitely watch Michael's channel. He, in my opinion, he's the most Star Trek aficionado. He's the best. I would give him the crown for the most knowledgeable of even Doctor Who. Yeah, even though I'm a Doctor Who fan, in my personal opinion, in the monkey's opinion of Doctor Who, Michael wears the crown. He's the most knowledgeable. He beats me every single time. That's for sure. Um, and yeah, I'd say yeah. He doesn't go live all the time, but when he does, it's always a pleasure to watch. He's always entertaining, and he's just a really great person to watch. So even though I'm not really accepted into the community as one would imagine, I'd say he would be an even better fit than I. I mean, yeah, where I'm not like all of you as much as other people, he is more like you all. So he's a really good fit where I do my best to fit in, but I don't really seem to fit in. He definitely fits in. He would. So I nominate Michael as the next uh, conversation. So please give him a watch. And yeah, but as far as Halloween content, I will say I'm probably going to be tracking down a pumpkin pie next. I had all the other pumpkin stuff. I had the pumpkin glaze, I had the pumpkin filling. Yeah. I had a pumpkin. Yeah, even had the other pumpkin stuff. So definitely, I'm going to be tracking down a pumpkin pie next. I mean, sometimes you just need to track down a really good pumpkin pie, and it's harder than it seems. You know. Um, but yeah, so definitely going to be having a pumpkin pie. I've had all the other pumpkin related items, so I'm going to be tracking down that. And yeah, but yeah, but trying to think of other pumpkin related things. Um, maybe I don't know. I was going to make a joke, but it would not have been appropriate. But I'd say if you want a spooky game, turn on any of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. But I will say my favorite in the series is definitely Security Breach. It stars Vanessa in it again, and you even see her in a ending in a ending of the game. And really good, really good. But the 3D, I would say, has to be I'd say it's a tie for my favorite game in the series. It's a tie, but I'd say if I'd had to pick, I would say still Security Breach is my favorite in the Five Nights at Freddy's games. but it's a tie. But I'd say it's a tie between that and the 3D game. But if it would win, it only won by like a millimeter. Yeah. But yeah, and so that's a spooky game. Soma, that's another really good game. That's spooky, very creepy. Clock Tower, the Clock Tower game is really good. Um, System Shock 1 and 2, really good. Those are PC games. There's a game called Messiah. That's a PC game, really good. There's one that stars the soundtrack of David Bowie. That's really good. He plays multiple things in it. There's multiple songs. I can't remember the name of it, but it's really good. It came in a big box. It was one of those PC releases that came in the huge box, like even bigger than I'd say even bigger than those Migos, those boxes. The PC games used to come in huge box. Oh, Omicron, the Nomad Soul. That was the name of it. Really good game. Very, very, very spooky. Another good one is 1408. Really good film. Gonna be watching that one tonight. Yep. That's I'd say that's my favorite spooky Samuel L. Jackson film. Well, the one where he's with sharks. That one's pretty spooky too. I'd say that's my favorite shark movie that Samuel L. Jackson is in. I think it's called The Deep Blue Sea. I think so. But yeah, that's definitely my favorite spooky film that Samuel L. Jackson is in. Uh, I'm a fan of the Sharknado films. Those are kind of spooky. Um, some would say the acting is spooky. And let's see. Besides that, there's other ones I can't think of, but I don't know. I'd say I don't know. Um, it's just some really, let's see, trying to think. Let's see, besides the Halloween Town films, there is the I don't know. Roseanne has some good Halloween specials. One that was scary was the one with fingers in the part of the sink where they turned it on and they got crushed up. That was pretty spooky. But yeah, to everybody that watches the Halloween related films, as the season of spookiness continues to get closer and closer to Halloween, I'd say I'd say Batman and Robin I would put as a Halloween film because it's the creepiest in the series, definitely the spookiest, and very beautiful to watch. And it's the one that really feels like it's the film in the Batman series that really feels like they're just playing dress up. It just feels like everyone's playing dress up in that whole film, you know? It feels all like Halloween night or Halloween. It feels like the season of Halloween in that movie. I mean, even even has a death in it. So the it has life and death. It has the spookiness of the outfits. Has the bat nipples. Even has the death of Alfred, the best Alfred in my opinion, besides the uh, original Adam West version. I think so. And let's see. And it has the life, meaning the bringing to life of the Batwoman or Batgirl, whichever it is, played by Alicia Silverstone. So I'd say that's worth putting on for after you've given out all the Halloween candy and you just want a film to watch as you wait for it to become November 1st. I'd say put on that when you're waiting for all the trick or treating to be done. Turn on turn on that film, the Batman and Robin. Yep. But I hope everyone has a good October. I hope everyone has a good bunch of Halloween parties and Halloween celebrations. I will say on a side note, uh, I actually really did like Men in Black 3. I really did. I mean, it's the only film that we see uh, Will Smith drinking chocolate milk. He actually tells people to go give him well, he tells them to go track him down a tall glass of chocolate milk. And you actually see him trying to answer a question. Wow. I mean, think about it. He has this, you see Will Smith, aka Deadshot, having a scene with the Ancient One from the Marvel Universe. And that's amazing in itself. And yeah, and it's just and you actually get to see Thanos. So Men in Black 3 is a film that features Deadshot, Thanos, and the Ancient One, and that's amazing. And if you remember, you even get to see Will Smith's son. So Will Smith's son is in that film too, as I believe he plays the young Will Smith. Yeah, really good film. Really, really, really good film. I liked it. I'd say yes. Some like Men in Black 1 and Men in Black 2. But because of the cast, I'd say my favorite as of this month and this year, I'd say my favorite is of Men in Black. It's definitely Men in Black 3. It's just a really great film, in my opinion. Yeah. And it kind of has some spookiness to a bit, you know? Uneasiness, spookiness. Good film. But I will say a film that is very controversial, that would not be made now, that I don't really approve of, but I did for many years. I did approve of the movie Hollow Man. I did enjoy it from at least its release till 2008. Yeah, yeah, mm, yeah. But I hope that you all get to go to lots of Halloween parties and that none end up like the Halloween party in Hocus Pocus 1. Definitely you don't want to have a party like that. And yeah, I'd still yeah, 1408, really good film. The hmm, I don't know. I think that's all of them. But yeah, um as far as the Hunger Games films, I did see them in theaters But I stopped after seeing Catching in Fire because that was my favorite. And I was like, nope, no more. Because, I mean, really, after you kill off the guy that made the costumes, is there really a is there really a point in seeing the rest after you see him get killed by the white-haired guy? I mean, seriously, he was my whole reason of watching the films. I loved him in the films. But first, after watching the girl die, and then watching him die, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. But so in my opinion, there's only two films in that series. No, wait, however many Hunger Games films that was in the ones of Hunger Games and Catching Fire. Those were my two favorites, but I prefer Catching Fire best. And yes, even though somebody already did today say that they preferred that one, I preferred it first. I saw it in the theater. I loved it. And I believe, yeah, but yeah, don't get me wrong. I know it's not a competition, but I was really surprised when he said it was his favorite in the series because it was my favorite even from when I saw it in the theater. But yeah, yeah. But yeah. So I guess you could say that's kind of episode 7 of the Monkey Files because yeah. Well, I may do a episode 7 because really, what are the odds of too many people watching this one? Hey, look at my views for goodness sake. But I don't know. Well, I will, but yeah, okay, yeah. So, to all of you, I want to say, I have a message for all of you about the month of October, when all of you are having your spooky Halloween parties and live streams celebrating all of it. Meg and Mike will probably have a stream. Everyone go check out that one, like you always do. But yeah, go check it out. And but yeah, but my message to all of you, the official message of mine as far as for the month of October is stay spooky and yeah, and like the end of Halloween night where you blow out a candle, the monkey is out.